Fuck, man, y'all got me like primed. I'm like about to come storming into the room, just instantly into like a fucking rant. Can't do that. You can't do that shit. Man, I just don't get why like everyone isn't mad in the right way. I think it's just because there's too much. There's all the bullshit, distraction stuff is what it is. We should all just be mad and stomping around and breaking shit. Oh, what really infuriates me is like I feel like I'm at a good company in a good situation and things are going pretty well for me and I still feel like I'm being absolutely nonstop crushed. Like it feels like I'm fucking telling you the one area where I'm like main character syndrome is I absolutely feel like the world adjusted to me getting my shit together on that front. It was like for every step forward that I took, the fucking like economy or inflation or whatever fucking changed to be like, that doesn't count now. That's not good enough now. Ugh. I hate it, man. Fucking hate it. It's basically it's just that treadmill feeling really bad. That's what it is. I feel like the harder, yeah, no, it's definitely millennials and down are just like we're just fucked, man. They sold the world 40 years ago. And it's just been sort of coasting. It's like they dropped the engines off the plane. And they just let it go. And we just haven't hit the ground yet, but we're headed to the ground. There's no stopping it. That's how I feel. That's how it all feels. Man, I want to fucking get into a house so bad, but I don't even want to do that shit. I don't even want to do it. The fucking horror stories. Fuck, man. Fuck. Like, first of all, I don't even know where the fuck I want to be in this shithole country. Any place that I would really like, you know, like it's got the right amenities or it's got like nice vistas or just whatever it is, whatever like the intersection of things is that I want. I know that shit is going to be fucking camped from just everything I've heard where there's like the fucking like lines around the block for just open houses, the fucking offers nightmare where like you just can't get a fucking place because there's just always some fucking like little LLC that's like, oh, how much did they offer? We'll offer that plus $1. You know, like that shit. Or how you can't get a house inspected now. You just can't do that. If you say that you want to do that, they'll just move on to the next fucking pile of money that's being shoveled at them. So you just can't. You have to take it sight unseen. Who knows if like the fucking foundation's cracked in half or, you know, whatever other, like there's a weird amount of like, you can't see it surface level, but this house is secretly condemned. You know what I mean? Like that seems like there's a lot of that shit. Does anybody else feel that? That shit's scary to me too. That like there's just some shit that you won't fucking see surface level, but after you buy it, you find out like, oh yeah, actually this house is fucked. It's got like a year left, you know, or something like that. I don't want to fall into that bullshit. But then if you buy new fucking houses, apparently there's a shit ton of other bullshit with that now. Like,
I don't know what's going on.
I'm not an expert in construction, so I wouldn't be able to discern like the fucked shit that they do when they build new houses now. I mean, I'm sure there's some that are built fine, maybe, but there's a lot of stuff that I've heard about, like just how new house construction is fucked. They do all kinds of like corner cutting or shitty materials or just whatever. People like buy houses and they're almost like non-functional as a house. It was just newly built. It's a nightmare, man. We live in a fucking hellscape. And it's basically death by 1,000 cuts. Benny, thank you for 89 months. Appreciate it. It's death by 1,000 cuts because we keep cutting corners on our fucking society. We don't care about other people enough. So we keep cutting away everything that like protects your average citizen that's just struggling to fucking survive. And we just keep doing that to funnel money into deep ass pockets. And this is the end result of that. It just sucks to exist. I don't know how anybody can be a fucking patriot in this country. What is there to be patriotic about?
Wow, wowie, wow.
Man. I don't feel like this country doing shit for me. Dino, thank you for that gift sub.
Wow, wowie, wow.
Thank you for that other gift sub, Dino. This is what happens if you start like getting me ranting about money. I just like the fucking Iron Curtain starts to come down and the hammer and the sickle starts to rise up. It's a rapid descent. I don't want to go completely down the fucking downward spiral. I know. Doomer, yeah. It's a fucking whirlpool, man. It's hard to not get fucking sucked down into it. But I don't know. I'm just tired, dude. This is the shit that I was avoiding for a long. I mean, this is why I was trying to I wanted to do the content creation stuff and do things where it was more, I could focus on expressing myself and just sort of enjoy. Like I wasn't trying to be concerned about doing the rat race. I was concerned about survival, but I don't know. I was trying to make it work on my terms, I guess. And then I started to realize that I was actually in this fucking hydraulic press that was going to squish me. And all I've been doing for the past few years has just been trying to fight back against that. And I don't know. I'm not really mad at my past self. I think that I made my choices and they either worked out or didn't to varying degrees, and it is what it is. And there's plenty of fucking outside forces that had a lot to do with how things went. So it's a fucking mess. Yeah. I was just really trying to avoid the whole like work until I die thing. But now I'm at the point where that's my future. Is just fucking work all day, every day, including the weekends, until I just fucking keel over and die. And that's a shitty life. And it's weird that's the majority of us. that's the life that born into. Anyway, there's a lot of other people expressing all of that shit way more eloquently than I ever could. So I'm just gonna leave it. Time for deliveries, yeah. That's not a bad one from the thesaurus. I didn't think of that one. So I have a mystery Amazon delivery. Don't know who this is from or what this is. Maybe somebody might have said something was on the way, but I'm not sure now. I think it was a while. It's certainly mysterious. Looks like it's a book. Oh! Huh. This is unexpected. Interesting. It's, is this a manga? Yeah. Huh. Check it out. It's a little Elden Ring manga. The Road to the Erd Tree. Huh. Wild. So this is an official story, huh? Wonder if this makes... This is... Well, I turned 2 pages and I landed on this. I don't know. It's a comedy. Okay. It's a comedy, clearly, yeah. You know, that kind of makes a lot of sense considering, like, you think about how serious the game is, right? Any of the FromSoft games, they're very serious. They take themselves super seriously. So this is sort of the perfect companion because this is more like the way players are in the games, right? Try finger butthole. So this is that energy, and that's good. Yeah, this is ridiculous. What the fuck? Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Who sent this? Tenosis, you seem to be the most knowledgeable here. Okay, so yeah, it was you. All right. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to giving that a go. Oh. And as is customary, we have a vinyl-shaped object. One of these times, it just won't be a vinyl. But I think so far, every time there's been a vinyl-shaped object, it has turned out to be a vinyl. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, it could be a plate. Oh. I cut the side tape, but not the main tape. There we go. Ooh. Ah, yeah. Okay. Nice. So there's 2 vinyls here. And
Wow, wowie, wow.
Wow, wowie, wow. Dino, thank you for that gift sub. Craig, it did actually give me a heads up that these were on the way. We got some new accidentals. Do you remember the accidentals? We got Timeout. Looks good. And then we have, so that looks like it's sort of like a B-sides type situation. And then we have The Vessel, which also looks pretty cool. And I really liked the accidentals. I played a lot of one of those albums for sure. There was actually one that was like a single, where it just had a couple of tracks on it, and it had some tracks on there I really enjoyed. It was just like really nice and chill, satisfying, Something about their style was just it was just right. And if I remember correctly, I think that I'm pretty sure Craig had confirmed with them directly. Yeah, sure, you can play these. But it's also been years now, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Look. Yeah. That's really nice. Should be good still. Cool, cool. Yeah. I don't know. Should we play the album or should we check out? Because this, I think, is just a single disc. This is a dual disc album here, and then this is like a single disc situation. Looks like 11 tracks altogether. 5 on one, 6 on the other. All but Odyssey have been self-released.
Is a wizard not a superhero?
Yeah, they rock. They're very cool. Surfer Dude, thank you for that gift sub. Can I get purchase on this plastic anywhere? Shrink wrap is my enemy. That doesn't even seem like something I said. Did I say that? I mean, clearly I did. Because that's my voice. But, like, was I just repeating something else someone else had said? Kind of sounds like me being flabbergasted at something. Probably, to be honest, sounds like me being flabbergasted at a Justin thing. That's kind of a... you know what I mean? That's my I'm perplexed at something Justin has said voice. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna throw this on. Just a moment. Oh, that's a lot of static. Something seems to have kind of gone wrong with the label on this one. Around the center hole, there's like a bunch of bubbles. Oh, I like that already. Yeah, chill vibes. Nice. I certainly need them. Ooh, I love that drum. That's a lot of cake. Dark Wolf, thank you for 52 months. Shit, this sounds familiar. Man, thank fuck for music. I don't really get music from anywhere in terms of like, I don't really watch anything or listen to the radio, so this is a first listen for me. I mean, I already love this right off the first track on this side. Vinyls are really, they're either very, very hard to get or forever obtainable. There's no in between, it seems. I think it's because they do very limited runs and they're either super desirable or not so much. But I am really glad that vinyl made a comeback and that we got on that train because it's just a really satisfying little thing. And I enjoy sharing it with you guys. It's just really pleasant. I'd say I'm pleasantly surprised by this since it kind of looked like it was going to be a B-side sort of thing. I always kind of lower my expectations for that stuff because it's usually the throwaway things, right? But this doesn't seem throwaway at all. Yeah, that's definitely one of the other nice things about vinyl is that there's just so much more to the overall experience. There's a lot more to get out of it. And I definitely don't have any of the sort of audiophile mythology thing going on. I don't think it sounds any better to me than an MP3 or whatever. I guess a RAW. But yeah, it's the experience. It's the everything else about it. I'm just saying I'm not laboring under some sort of delusion.
Dogs are crazy.
Well, the midnight alarm went off and they were like, what the fuck?
Elden Ring's a book?
Well, so this is a manga and also it's a comedy.
Okay.
Tenosis sent that.
Okay, so on the first page, I wasn't sure if that was something sticking out of his ass or if it was just underwear. And I needed to get a closer look. Oh, there's even a close-up shot. I didn't notice that on the next page.
Yep. I was remarking to them that...
Was that the Elden Ring? Sorry, I had to.
You're going down a road well traveled, I'll tell you. And I was saying to them that this is kind of a perfect companion because the games that FromSoft makes are very self-serious.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're not fucking around. But the players of their games are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Always. You know, like one of the most common messages you would see. You know about the messaging system in those games, do you?
It's the same thing where it's like you leave like artifacts and then people, like when you die you can see other people like their ghosts.
Yeah, stuff like that. But you can also arbitrarily leave messages wherever.
Yeah.
And they're constructed from available phrases and words. You can't put anything you want. But you can, if there's an item in the game called finger, you can combine that with try. And then you could combine that with butt hole, you know, WHOLE, and make the phrase try finger butthole. Which has to be, I would say, the most put message in the game. The next runner-up would probably be like any messages near a tortoise that say dog. Yeah, the phrase is, it's Mad Libs. So you get like try something, but something. Was it whole or WHOLE? Maybe I'm not remembering right. It could very well have had whole. It was whole, okay. I think I just sort of manufactured that because it sounded like it's a way like you could get around to saying butthole. But if they just had the word hole, that's even better. Try crouching and then let there be dung. These are very Elden Ring phrases. Look carefully ahead. Ahead. I think, didn't we crafted one like that towards a giant skull? Yeah, that was ours. But I feel like it was worse than that. I felt like it was essentially like buffalo, 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 buffalo.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
It was just that? Okay. Look carefully ahead. Ahead. I do like that. That's still good.
They're not cooperating.
Oh yeah, you should just take her. That'll decrease
He's just
the...
been licking my leg the entire time. Like I feel terrible.
I have to give him his medicine, and I'll bring him. But take her, because that'll reduce the chaos by like 50% at least.
I'm saying, like, I feel guilty.
Oh, right. Ahead. Uh, yeah, having two little dogs together it's a multiplier for sure. The wiling out is so much more wile and out than it used to be. The first of a number of Armored Core games arrived today. Oh, not that screen. This one. So we have Armored Core 4 now. It's in good shape. A lot of the Armored Core basically is going to be on the 360. It seems like 3, 4, and 5 are all going to be on the 360, I think. Well, I haven't grabbed 3 yet because we haven't hit that goal, but for some reason it seems like the Xbox 360 ones are more available and in better shape. Like we'll have the manual and everything with. So I wish I was going to have time to do Tears of the Kingdom and all of Armored Core before Armored Core 6 comes out. To the best of my knowledge, they did them all. And my knowledge is not very good. But let's find out. We have the internet. Let's see what Wikipedia says. Even though Wikipedia is bad. We don't like Wikipedia. I'm not sure that it'll be easy to find a like a good breakdown of who made what, but every content looks like it's all just dick after dick. Thank you. What happened? Let's see now. Oh, I suppose I can mark Armored Core 4 off.
Every content creator gets just dick after dick after dick after dick after dick after dick after dick.
Thank you. So Armored Core 4 complete. Well, okay. Let me refresh. It's funny that I didn't put Armored Core 6 on here.
Shit Fart Butts 2.
What? That's the first time I've heard that. So now is this. Thank you for 95 months. That was a good follow-up to the dicks after dicks. Okay, so Armored Core 2 Another Age is 97% now. Okay, so the ones that were pretty much complete fell off when I refreshed, and now I don't know what's going on anymore. It looks like none others completed. It's so confusing on Throne, I'll tell you. But thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, where's Ship Fart Butts 2? Yeah, I think mostly it's only confusing because almost every game is published by somebody else. But I'm pretty sure they were all developed by from
every content creator gets just dick after 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 dick.
Armored Core 2 Another Age has completed. So I will get that one ordered. That's for the PS2. Mark is complete. I'll complete it after I order it. So it stays on the list. But yeah, thank you so much. Okay, interesting. The making of Armored Core solidified From Software's development skills, and in July of 1999, they released a multiplayer action game, Frame Gride, for the Sega Dreamcast. What? Frame Gride. It's another mech game. And it's similar to Armored Core. Huh. It did not release outside of Japan. Famitsu gave it a 29 out of 40. And then Daemon X Machina, which has been mentioned a few times in chat, was produced by the producer of Armored Core, Kenichiro Tsukuda, which apparently came out on the Switch and on Windows. God damn. FromSoft was busy as fuck all through like the early 2000s. They put out Metal Wolf Chaos on the Xbox, which is another mech game. That was 2004. Basically, it's weird that, like, I think most people kind of didn't really give a fuck about From until Dark Souls. And they just basically became a mech games company for, like, almost 20 years. They were just all Armored Core all day, or mecha-related properties for like 15 to 20 years before Demon Souls. Yeah. Demon Souls was sort of like they were dipping their toe outside of the mech world. So really, I don't know if, like, without digging into this, I don't think people would realize that Armored Core 6 for FromSoft is like returning to their roots. Although the other things have roots too, like Kingsfield, and it's not like they've only ever made mech games, but they sure went all in on Armored Core for a long time. Long time. But I'm excited about Armored Core 6, man. Just learning the legacy behind all of this. I really want to dig into the other games. I will say that I took a little peek at Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer. They simultaneously look good, but also like, and I don't know if this was just a 360 era or that whole generation, right? We went through a weird period of like from 2000 and like, I don't even know, like 2006 to 2014 or so of just like everything's sort of brown and looks like it's all smeared and like I don't know what that is, but like when you go back to, especially for some reason for me, when you go back to like Xbox 360 games, it looks like they only had like a Desert War palette. you know? Yeah, brown and bloom, gray and brown. Yeah. And Armored Core was no exception. It has that modern warfare look to it, which disappoints me because the first one feels so like colorful and fun. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I mean, obviously this looks better, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I kind of wish it looked worse, if that makes any sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like crunching the colors, that, yeah. I think that started even earlier, right? That was kind of like the tail end of the 90s is where that even really began. Like I remember it was notable when The Matrix came out, right? Cuz The Matrix is like green. And I guess they called that color crunching. Like you're like smashing the film down into like a really restricted palette or whatever, or you just wash the whole thing. You tint everything in a certain look. And boy, does that really define that era, right? It makes me think of like Mountain Dew, and it just makes me think of stuff I don't like. It definitely had a moment where there were good things. I don't think it was used poorly in The Matrix, for example. I was fine with the way The Matrix looked, but it certainly, because of what happened afterwards, it it now looks super fucking dated because of it. Like, why does it look like this? I just want it to be clear. Why is it so hard to see everything? You know? Let's flip that over. I want to hear that first track now that Craig had hyped it up. Ah. By the by, I guess I didn't really talk about it, but I do feel measurably better. But I have that sort of post sickness thing of where I feel like I got hit by a truck as well at the same time. Like I'm not actively dying anymore, but I feel shitty in a different, more tolerable way. I don't think I have. I don't recognize it. I don't think. the range of music for me is it feels weird when you bring it all together, because I like essentially industrial in terms of the things I like the most. It's like industrial and then like kind of folksy, authentic seeming, if that makes sense. I think that the through line is that there's a certain sort of raw energy to both, just coming from very different places. I like the Accidentals a lot. I don't know if I would throw them up there at top 2 necessarily, but I'm also not really a tier lister. Nine Inch Nails is sort of my perennial number 1, and then there's just sort of everything else. So that's, I'm not knocking the Accidentals. It's just like it's really hard for me to like. Everything else is sort of like solar systems in my Nine Inch Nails galaxy. Like the scale is not the same, and it's hard to compare them. That's just saying that, like, for me, I went really deep with Nine Inch Nails. It just really went to my core. So, yeah, just means a lot. Yeah, it's formative. So it doesn't. Yeah, it's weird. But I like things that kind of have that raw energy to them, that sort of realness, authenticity. And that also probably comes from my formative, like my music formative years. I really did not like mainstream commercial stuff, and not, it was almost annoying because I wasn't one of the people that was like anti-mainstream for the sake of anti-mainstream. I just really didn't like anything really that was mainstream. Apparently, he had no rationale for that name other than that it sounded nice to say. It just sounded good when you said it. It has no meaning, which I kind of agree with. I think that's probably a good, yeah, that's like a good way to go about it. I think it's really easy to fall into this hole of like trying to find the most meaningful representation of your ideas or whatever. It's like, honestly, it's probably better to just pick something that's like aesthetically pleasing and just fucking be done with it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I totally get what you're saying, Omni. I get what you're saying. Although, I would say that I don't know that there's a Nine Inch Nails song that I don't particularly like. I would say like is my baseline, at least for Nine Inch Nails. There's songs I don't go back to. So that's true. Hold on, I hear noises. What's going on out here? I think you're up to no good. Pico was definitely up to no good. I've never really got very much into System of a Down. I liked some of their songs, but they definitely, for me, those songs wore out their welcome fast. I don't know exactly why. Oh, their Zelda song. I feel like that's ringing some sort of a bell for me, but I'm not quite remembering. I remember back in the day there was this track of some band playing the Legend of Zelda theme song that was just sort of floating around on Napster, and it was attributed to various different bands, but I think most often Nine Inch Nails. But I was never sure. I was never convinced completely that that was actually Nine Inch Nails. There was a lot of weird stuff like that back in the file sharing days because people could just fucking name files and change the metadata to anything on any recording. So people just put weird shit out there. I think another one that would be it would be sort of high on the list for me, but I just never really got as far into them as I probably could have, would be Tool. Because Tool's another one that has that like raw, honest energy to it. But it tends to be a bit artsy. Did any of you see recently this video surfaced of Tool playing to like a crowd of like 30 people in a bar before they were known by anybody back in 92? It's a fascinating video. Absolutely fascinating. James Maynard has always been a fucking freak. He has the weirdest presence as a lead personality for a band. He sort of stands there and stares straight ahead or moves like a monkey. But it's sort of the right vibe. Is he a piece of trash? I'm not aware. I have no idea. Deftones, I would say I flirted with Deftones a bit. This area, a lot of like if you want to talk about pieces of shit, Marilyn Manson is from somewhere around. Is he from fucking Dayton? I think. I'm curious, Omni, because like I've never heard anything particularly bad about Maynard, but hit me. I also I was never looking for anything, so I don't keep tabs on him. And then Trent was from Pennsylvania. He went to college in Cleveland. Canton. Yeah, a lot of the like more disgruntled bands for some reason. For some reason, they sure seem to have started around here. For some reason. I don't know why that would be. Some kind of vibe or energy around here. It's in the water, yeah. Oh. Well, that's not good. Over and again, I keep feeling like placing my chips on the Trent spot on the table seems to have paid dividends. Yeah, it looks like it's a whole ugly thing. Uh, uh, yeah, this is ugly. Jesus Christ. The Twitter account that started this was created within an hour of an account that responded and tried to bring Nine Inch Nails frontman Trent Reznor into the story with a tweet. I think Manson is confirmed fucking piece of shit scumbag. I don't know. Supposedly this was debunked. But who knows, man? We live in a weird shit world where we're just like blasted with random information, the truth of which is like impossible to discern. I don't know. Apparently, the Maynard thing was like never corroborated, and everything about it just sort of got deleted and disappeared. But who the fuck knows, man? No idea. I'm not invested in the dude, so it's like just sort of drive by for me. uh I mean it's a good slice of life, right? Yeah, I love this shirt. It's Kawhi Samus. Just everything about it I like. It's one of my favorites. I think my favorite shirt right now is my the one that's Metroid the Metroid busting out of the container. The baby. My favorite shirt is the baby. Yeah. She's in trans rights colors. Oh god, I saw a fucking ugly story today. Although I don't know the truth of it, so it's just we live in a fucking weird time where nothing makes any sense, or it's impossible to make any sense out of anything. Someone posted a story about that they wore their wife's nightgown because their wife jokingly suggested it because it was cold or whatever, and it was just like at hand. And so the husband thought it was funny, put it on. Still was wearing it in the morning. Young son, I don't remember the age. It was like 7 years old, something like that. Young son sees this in the morning, thinks it's funny, tells his friends. Friends tell, I don't know, somebody. Somehow it gets back to some adult human person, and then apparently CPS was called. Guess which state where this took place? If indeed this took place. This was indeed Florida. With the recent laws. Well, clearly he was grooming his children. I don't see how we can go on like this. I really don't. It's a nightmare world. It's a world of hate. Everything's based on hate now. The accidentals, you're not powerful enough. To be honest, these tracks are like bittersweet and kind of sad. So probably not helping terribly much. Yeah. Anywho, thank you for these lovely vinyls, Craig. I do enjoy the accidentals very much. Very nice. And Tenosis, thank you for this book. I should read this and laugh and stop thinking about all this other crap that's just depressing. I don't know. I have just going to spiral again, but I just have zero hope for the future. We are barreling towards a forever corporatocracy that's doesn't seem like it's going to let up or change. And it's not going to be like, it's effectively going to be like the fucking battery farms from the Matrix or whatever, but it's just not going to be cool looking. It's not going to be, you know what I mean? We're just going to have everything drained from us, but it's not going to be like in a way that like looks good on film. They're just pulling the ladder up. That's what's happening. Pulling the ladder up, and we're just going to sort of starve. Yeah, well, we need to figure out how to do that as one. We need to go back to e pluribus unum. Of many, one. That's our problem right now. If we could do that, then maybe we would have a hope. Then maybe we would have a chance. But we're very far from that. Very. So, on that lovely note, I'm just going to go ahead and leave. But you guys figure that out, and I will see you hopefully for like an on-time stream tomorrow. But I wouldn't count on it. I'm in hell. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know what's going on. Until then, have a beautiful evening, and go listen to the Accidentals. They are very good. They have a lot of good stuff. Look them up. I'm sure they're on Spotify or wherever you get your music. YouTube, somewhere. Or maybe get the vinyls. They're very good. Good night, everybody.